Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and told yourself the truth? Not the filtered, soft, comfortable version of the truth that keeps you safe, but the raw, brutal truth. Look into your own eyes and admit it. Deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know you're stronger than your habits. You know you were born for something greater than just existing, paying bills, and dying quietly. That Ferrari you dream about, that mansion you keep scrolling past, that lifestyle you imagine when no one's watching, that's not a fantasy, it's not a joke, it's not something reserved for lucky people. It's a test of how far you're willing to go. Because let me break it down, the Ferrari isn't about the car, it's about freedom, it's about control, it's about knowing you don't need permission to live the life you want. And the question is, are you willing to take it? People laugh when I say you can get a Ferrari in 30 seconds. They think it's clickbait. They think it's a gimmick, but it's not. Because in life, there are moments. Moments that last seconds but change everything. The moment you decide, I've had enough. The moment you quit making excuses. The moment you stop waiting for tomorrow and start acting right now. That decision, that single second of truth, can change your entire trajectory. That's your 30 seconds. It doesn't take years to decide who you are. It doesn't take months to decide to be relentless. It doesn't even take a week. It takes seconds. Seconds to flip a switch inside your mind and say, from this moment forward, I refuse to live like everyone else. I refuse to be average. I refuse to be weak. That Ferrari is not sitting in some dealership waiting for someone luckier than you. It's sitting there waiting for someone hungrier than you. So here's my challenge to you. Decide, right now, in this very moment, are you going to keep living the same story, making the same excuses, repeating the same cycles? Or are you going to flip that switch, take those 30 seconds of courage and rewrite your entire life? Because the Ferrari is waiting, your freedom is waiting, your new life is waiting, and all it takes is a decision. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you demand of yourself. So stop begging, stop waiting, stop wishing, stand up. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I refuse to be average, I refuse to be weak. I will not stop until I get everything I came for. That's how you get a Ferrari in 30 seconds. Not by luck, not by chance, by choosing, right here, right now, to become the kind of person who refuses to lose. 30 seconds, that's all it takes to change everything. People think transformation is a long, complicated process that requires years of planning, decades of waiting, and endless chances. But the truth is, life changes in a moment. One single decision, one act of courage, one instant when you finally say enough. That's the power of 30 seconds. Think about it. The second you decide to stop living in excuses, your future changes. The second you choose to stop scrolling your life away and start building, everything shifts. The second you finally take responsibility for your own results instead of blaming the world, you unlock a new version of yourself. That moment of truth doesn't take months, it doesn't take years. It takes seconds, and those seconds are available to you right now. The Ferrari is just a symbol in this lesson. It's not about the car. It's about freedom, power, and proof that you are in control of your destiny. When I say you can get a Ferrari in 30 seconds, I'm not saying you walk into a dealership with no money and drive away with a brand new machine. I'm saying you flip a switch inside yourself that sets you on an unstoppable path to earning it. That decision, that tiny space of time where you decide to never quit, to never fold, to never settle for average, is the real Ferrari. What most people don't realize is they've already wasted more than 30 seconds making excuses today. They've spent more than 30 seconds thinking about what they should do but haven't. They've thrown away countless opportunities because they were waiting for the right time. Let me tell you, the right time doesn't exist. The perfect moment isn't coming. What you have is now, right here, this exact second. You have two choices in this moment. Keep living the way you've been living or make the decision to transform. That choice happens instantly. It's not a long debate. It's not a negotiation with yourself. It's a clean break from who you were yesterday and a violent push into who you're about to become. And once you make that decision, you'll notice something powerful. The world starts to move differently. Suddenly, you stop tolerating weakness in yourself. You stop accepting mediocrity. You stop surrounding yourself with people who drain your energy. Because once you've flipped that internal switch, once you've used your 30 seconds wisely, you realize you cannot go back. You've tasted freedom and nothing else is enough, so the challenge is simple. Don't waste another second doubting yourself, scrolling, waiting for permission, or living on autopilot. Take 30 seconds right now to commit with everything inside you to the life you want. If you truly lock in that decision, the Ferrari, the success, the respect, and the freedom, it's all just a matter of time. Being average is the most dangerous disease of our time, and most people don't even realize they're infected. They think average is safe. They think average is normal. They convince themselves that playing it small, keeping it comfortable, and staying unnoticed is the responsible way to live. But let me tell you something harsh. Average is pain. Average is the slowest form of death. When you're average, you wake up tired even after sleeping 8 hours because your soul knows you're not living to your full potential. You drag yourself to a job you don't love, working for a boss you don't respect, doing tasks you don't care about. You tell yourself it's just temporary, but weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And then one day, you wake up realizing you've spent your whole life waiting for someday that never came. That's the cost of average. Average doesn't scream in your face like failure does. Average whispers. It lulls you into comfort. It tricks you into believing that at least I'm not doing bad. But deep down, when you're honest with yourself, you know that's a lie. Because you don't go to bed proud. You don't wake up excited. You feel that emptiness in your chest every time you think about the dreams you once had. That emptiness, that's average choking the life out of you. People don't realize that suffering comes in two forms, the suffering of discipline and the suffering of regret. Discipline is hard, but it makes you stronger. Regret, though, that's unbearable. Regret is looking back and knowing you had the time, you had the chance, you had the potential, but you chose comfort instead. You chose average, and now it's too late. Average also destroys your self-respect. You can't lie to yourself forever. You know when you're cutting corners. You know when you're wasting time. You know when you're capable of more, but you choose less. And every time you do that, you look at yourself in the mirror and lose a little more respect for the person staring back. That's why average hurts more than greatness ever could. Because greatness demands everything from you, but average demands your soul. And here's the cruelest part. Society celebrates average. They'll clap for you if you do just enough to survive. They'll tell you to be grateful you have a paycheck, even if it kills your spirit. They'll tell you to slow down, to take it easy, to stop being too ambitious. Why? Because your ambition threatens their comfort. Your hunger exposes their laziness, and instead of rising with you, they'll try to pull you back down to average, where they feel safe. But deep down, you know you weren't built for average. You know there's a fire inside you that won't stay quiet. You know you were meant for more than blending in, more than existing, more than just paying bills and dying. That pain you feel when you're stuck in the cycle of mediocrity, that's your soul begging you to rise. So, don't make peace with average. Don't accept it. Don't tolerate it. Use the pain of being average as your fuel, because the moment you decide you'd rather suffer chasing greatness than suffer settling for less, you'll never go back. That's when you start to truly live. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants the Ferrari, the mansion, the lifestyle that screams freedom. But very few are willing to build the engine that makes it possible. That engine isn't luck. It isn't motivation. It isn't talent. The real engine is discipline. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling you had when you said it is gone. Motivation is cheap, it burns fast and disappears. Discipline is cold, sharp, unshakable. It doesn't care about your mood, your feelings, or your excuses. It demands that you show up regardless. That's why discipline is the true Ferrari engine. It's what keeps you moving when everything inside you wants to quit. People look at successful men and think they're special. They're not. They're disciplined. They don't wake up every day excited. They don't love every workout, every business call, every late night at the desk. But they do it anyway because they understand something the weak will never grasp. Consistency beats passion. Effort beats talent. Discipline beats everything. Discipline is what drags you out of bed at 5 a.m. when your body begs for another hour of sleep. It's what forces you to close the app and study when your brain craves distraction. It's what makes you push through the last rep when your muscles are screaming. Discipline is the voice inside you that says, "Shut up, keep going." And here's the truth. Without discipline, nothing else matters. You can have dreams, but without discipline, they stay fantasies. You can have talent, but without discipline, it rots. You can even get lucky, but without discipline, you'll lose it all. Discipline is the foundation that everything else is built on. But let's be clear, discipline isn't built overnight. It's forged in fire. It's built in the small decisions, the moments no one sees. Every time you choose the harder path, every time you do the work when no one is watching, every time you silence the weak voice in your head, you're laying bricks. And brick by brick, you build a fortress inside yourself that no weakness can tear down. Weak men look for hacks. They look for shortcuts. They want an easy road to success. Strong men know there are no shortcuts. The shortcut is discipline. Do the work every single day. No excuses, no exceptions. Think about it. If you had absolute discipline, what could stop you? Not failure because you'd keep trying. Not rejection because you'd keep pushing. Not weakness because you'd crush it. Discipline makes you untouchable. The Ferrari isn't really about horsepower or leather seats. It's a symbol of control, of precision, of power. That's exactly what discipline gives you over your own life. When you master discipline, you become the Ferrari. Unstoppable, sharp, admired, and powerful. So the question is simple. Are you willing to build that engine? Are you willing to bleed for discipline, to sacrifice for it, to worship it like it's the key to everything you want? Because it is. Without it, you're going nowhere. With it, there is nothing in this world you cannot have. The greatest war you will ever fight will not be against other people. It won't be against your boss, your competitors, or the economy. The greatest war is the one that happens inside your own mind every single day. That's the war that decides whether you rise or whether you stay weak. Every morning when you wake up, two voices start speaking. One tells you to stay in bed, to take it easy, to delay the work. The other demands you rise, fight, and do what needs to be done. That's the war, and here's the truth. Whichever voice you obey is the one that wins, and the one that wins shapes your destiny. Weak men lose this war before they even step out of bed. They negotiate with themselves, they justify laziness, they tell themselves they'll do it later, and before they know it, days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into years of wasted potential. They never lost to the world, they lost to themselves. The enemy inside you is cunning. It knows your weaknesses, it knows your fears, it knows exactly when to whisper, "You can do it tomorrow." That inner enemy is relentless, and if you don't fight it every single day, it will consume you. But there's also a warrior inside you, a voice that doesn't care about comfort, excuses, or pain. That voice says, "Get up, move, fight, do the work." That voice is your true self, the part of you built for greatness. But it's quiet. It doesn't scream like the weak voice. It whispers, and you only hear it when you shut down the excuses and take action. Winning this war is not about one big battle. It's about the small daily victories. Choosing water over soda, choosing training over the couch, choosing discipline over distraction. Each choice is a bullet fired at the enemy inside you. Each decision is another victory for the stronger version of you. And let me tell you this, once you start winning consistently, everything changes. You build self-respect. You start to trust yourself. You know that when you say you'll do something, you'll do it. That trust is power. That trust is freedom, but the war never ends. Even when you're strong, even when you're disciplined, that weak voice will always try to sneak back. That's why the strongest men never relax. They never stop fighting. They know the battle is lifelong, and that's what makes them dangerous. They are warriors who never put their sword down. So ask yourself, who is winning the war inside you? The weak, lazy version that craves comfort, or the warrior version that demands greatness? Because the truth is simple. If you can't conquer yourself, you'll never conquer anything outside of you. The Ferrari, the freedom, the life you want. They're not out there waiting for luck. They're waiting for the moment you finally kill the weak voice inside and let the warrior lead. That is the real battle. Win that, and you win everything. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have, and yet it's the one most people throw away like it's worthless. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose possessions and replace them, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. And here's the brutal truth. Most people act like they have unlimited time. They don't. Neither do you. The Ferrari, the freedom, the life you want. It's not waiting for you 10 years from now. It's slipping further away every time you procrastinate, every time you delay, every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow is the lie you tell yourself to feel better about wasting today, and urgency is the antidote. Urgency means you treat every second like it matters, because it does. Urgency means you stop waiting for permission, for the perfect conditions, for the right mood. The right time doesn't exist. The perfect moment is now. Right here, right this second. That's the power of urgency. It transforms someday into today. Look around. Most people are living like they have forever. They scroll their lives away, waste hours on entertainment, and trade their best years for cheap distractions. They don't feel the clock ticking, but one day they'll wake up old, full of regret, realizing they wasted the only chance they had. That's why urgency matters, because the pain of wasted time is permanent. When you act with urgency, you separate yourself instantly from the average. While they wait, you move. While they hesitate, you strike. While they're still making excuses, you're already 10 steps ahead. Success isn't about being the smartest or the strong. It's about being the one who acts without delay, the one who sees the door open and runs through it before anyone else even notices it's there. Urgency doesn't mean rushing blindly. It means moving with intensity, with focus, with purpose. It means recognizing that every hour wasted is an hour closer to the grave, and you refuse to die with your potential still inside you. Urgency turns time into a weapon instead of a weakness. Think about it. How many dreams have died because someone thought they had more time? How many opportunities slipped away because someone said, "I'll do it later"? Later becomes never. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. So you have to live like the clock is running out, because it is. You have to treat every day as if it's your last chance to change everything, because it might be. That doesn't mean you live in fear. It means you live in action. Fear paralyzes. Urgency liberates. The Ferrari is not about luxury. It's about urgency. It's about proof that you moved fast when others stood still. It's about evidence that you seized your time instead of wasting it. The car, the freedom, the life. They are rewards for the man who understood that time was slipping away and acted before it was too late. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop thinking you have forever. You don't. The clock is ticking, and it doesn't stop for anyone. Act now. Live with urgency. Take what you want before time steals your chance forever. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one truth. Life will give you exactly what you demand from it. Nothing more, nothing less. The Ferrari, the freedom, the respect, the power, it's not about the car. It's about the man you had to become to earn it. Most people will never taste it, not because they can't, but because they won't. They'll keep waiting for the right time. They'll keep lying to themselves. They'll keep living like they have forever, when in reality, their clock is running out. But you don't have to be one of them. You don't have to settle for being average, for living quietly, for dying with your potential still inside you. You can choose right now, in this very second, to flip that switch, to decide that from this moment forward, nothing will stop you. To become the kind of person who refuses to lose. And when you make that choice, when you embrace discipline, urgency, sacrifice, and the war inside you, you'll realize something powerful. The Ferrari isn't just a machine on four wheels. It's a symbol of the freedom you fought for. It's proof that you didn't waste your life. It's evidence that when the world told you to stay in your place, you rose higher anyway. So here's my challenge: stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop negotiating with yourself. Take the 30 seconds that can change everything and claim your destiny. The Ferrari, the freedom, the life you want. It's all waiting for you, but only if you're bold enough to take it. Because in the end, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you refuse to live without.